Let's see how they fare, but I don't think they'll do well. Well, he makes it, but it doesn't matter.
Horse probably makes him.
The horse goes down, and he drops unconscious as well. Just from the acid. So he takes 6. And now combat will definitely be over, unless you want to go for the merchant as well.
I mean, he's stopping the horses and stepping off the cart, surely.
He did stop the horses, but he's not currently doing much about from being unhappy with the situation.
Tyraxus slides up and like slithers up next to him. Greetings, human.
Well, hello there.
Eyes thin, that's not what he wanted. He wanted like panicked screams or something.
He seems too shocked to know how to react.
Hello, could you step off of this wagon, please?
Well,
Actually, maybe you could drive it for us. That would be better, yes.
you want to take it all, don't you?
Yes, all of it, yes.
But it's
I didn't really care much about my reputation, sir, but as it turns out, and I think I'll roll here a dragon die to see if I just want to bully him a lot, because he seems to be in a weak position right now.
that seems very appropriate.
Let's see here. I don't, but I might still. I usually care about my reputation, but your people here had to go ahead and die so easily, so they can't go and tell about my mercy, and so why would I show it?
Tyraxus.
Except, of course, if someone was very useful to me.
The merchant sighs. This was supposed to be my great breakthrough, you know. None of the others were willing to travel to Kermaga this kind of weather, but I figured, hey, the later to storm season it is, the more money I'll get for it. So I invested everything, and now you're here ruining it all. You know, I don't care what you do to me.
Good. As Tyraxus in that
I
case
didn't mean that.
will open his mouth, ready to bite his head off. If
I
no one stops
really
him.
didn't mean that. I do very much care what you're going to do to me, actually.
Good. Could you just hold here while we gather these things? Someone, could you get all the things from all these guards and such? Maybe even put them in the wagon. I'm sure the kobolds would like some snacks.
Tyraxus roars out, "Servants!" Over to where the kobolds are.
It takes a little time because it's quite far. But you do quickly see them running and panting. I mean, if you're going to at least leave me alive, then I suppose I can always rebuild my... No, who am I kidding? You just ruined me. I hope you feel good about it.
You have a curious way to talk to those who have you at their mercy, human.
Listen, I've had a very bad day. I'm not even entirely sure if you are indeed what you look like to me, or if I just had too much to drink.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
Tyraxus stare him in the face. I am the realest thing you have seen all day. I dare to say.
He blinks. I suppose you are. Well,
Do you know a lot about shooting a bow? Were you someone who did that?
I'm sure I'm just going to wake up in a moment and find out that I passed out on the way to riches.
Tyraxus sort of hisses to Rakax and Draconic. Do we actually need him, or should we just, end it?
I will say that I don't know how to drive a wagon.
He's giving us a colder shoulder than I do.
Let's just have him drive the
Just
wagon,
nods.
then we can end him at the forest if you want to.
Tyraxus nods. Good. And then he turns to Merrick and says, "Good news, human. We have decided to be merciful. You will drive this wagon for us for a short while, and after that you can run back to whatever your ruined life you have left."
He frowns at you, and it does seem like he's slowly realizing what kind of situation he is and what is, in fact, right next to him at the moment.
And riding.
Load up these bodies.
Like slithered up, like
Also, what he sees, like poking his head over the side of the roof.
making that face all the time.
It's a very
take
hungry,
control, I
it's a
can
very
take-
hungry look. Our Onyx didn't eat before we left.
Well, maybe we actually want to rather have a horse than all these humans. I think it is much better meat.
Agreed.
Ooh, what?
Their equipment we can certainly bring.
Speaking of which, his horse died. Let me have a snack.
Servants.
Starts eating the horse.
Points with the tails, like pick everything up, put it in the wagon.
They will do so. I'll try to, at least. The merchant has decided that speaking is no longer for him, as he has what's the word? As he has decided to simply stammer at you incoherently.
Tyraxos looks at him and says, "Now, merchant, with everything loaded, make these beasts move. We shall be following quite close, I should think." And then he, spreads his great wings, and with a beat of furious wind, he will take off and start circling around the wagon.
Don't worry, I will stay right here.
Says the small dragon.
You won't be alone.
All right. Perhaps you don't really want to do this. Perhaps we could talk about business relations instead. I've heard things about your kind, and you always have a lot of influence and
That
money.
is true, yes. But we want this wagon load. After that, you might have some skills that could come in handy. Why don't you, while we drive, tell me about yourself and what you can do?
All right.
I'll help guide him back to the...
Sure, he will direct the horses as you instruct him. And as for loot, let me just list you all the stuffs you get.
Yes.
Are you interested in mundane equipment?
Just not really. I mean, just assume that we have a ton of scrap.
Yeah.
If there's a bow and leather armor, yes.
I mean,
You want to put that girl in a leather armor. She might as well learn to use it now.
I mean, weapons and armor are valuable still at this point. Like, we want all the money we can get, right?
All right. We do have a wagon. We can just load it up there.
Yeah.
Let's see. The two caravan guards have longbows, normal ones, not masterwork. Fanon again had a masterwork studded level, nothing magical anymore because he couldn't afford that. A masterwork short sword and a normal dagger, as well as a grand total of 2 gold pieces and copper coins. The cleric Samantha had a normal chainmail, a quarterstaff, and 3 gold pieces.
They're gonna be dressed in barrels when we meet them next, right?
They're dead.
Well,
Well, I assume we kill them all.
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
That is information I'm going to need if you finish them off or if you just let them lie here.
our Onyx will definitely finish them off.
The paladin has a normal chain shirt, a normal dagger, a masterwork rapier, and 5 gold pieces. Let's see, and Mr. Johnny Evans over here has 2 masterwork hand axes and a masterwork heavy crossbow, as well as a masterwork studded lever and a potion of cure minor wounds. In addition
What
to
did the
that,
paladin have?
sorry, what?
Cure minor wounds. Is that even a thing?
No, it's not.
The cure light wounds. Sorry, yes.
Sure.
I
Minor wounds was a 3.51 hit point.
It's the level
So-
1 healing spell,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah. So what does the paladin have for weapon?
The paladin has a dagger and a masterwork rapier. And Johnny Evans over here also, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, has 30 gold pieces.
Right. What's in the wagon?
The wagon, looking through that quickly, contains a small coffer with what appears to be about 700 gold pieces in various coinage, as well as a lot of unprocessed grain and salted pork.
That's good. Does the merchant have anything on him?
Nothing really worth of value unless you count his, well, rather high quality clothing.
Oh well. We probably don't at this point, but sure.
Yeah, the food in the wagon would be 600 units, a unit being what a small creature needs per day.
Should last us maybe through the winter even. In that case, right?
Maybe. We could have 100 days worth of kobold food in that.
Mhm.
I mean, we're probably going to slaughter the 2 horses as well.
Sure.
That will give a good amount of food as well.
Yeah, the horse meat would certainly be food, but it is very easily perishable. The food on the wagon is not.
You eat the horses first, then, sheep.
Yes, of course. That certainly works. Alright, and these others, you just kill them off.
Yes. If the wagon has enough load on it, we'd throw the bodies in there too. Might as well take them with us.
The wagon seems to be pretty damn close to its maximum load, but you can
Alright then.
try.
I mean, it can have 2 bodies in it, we know. You know.
You can certainly carry two of the bodies if you want to.
I think we'd rather just have some
Oops.
more horse. But beyond that, let's not break a wheel or anything. Yeah, we'll drive back.
Alright, we'll just kill these off.
I'm actually a little sad. You'd hope that they'd live to tell the tale of great things, but sometimes that sadly cannot be.
Yeah, the only thing that got away is a single horse, which is unlikely to tell any tales. Not in so many words, anyways.
I mean, this is not the kind of reputation he needs. So, you know.
Steps forward in the cart, looks over the edge at the 2 of them.
Yeah, the merchant on the way back seems to find a lot of, not confidence, but at least it's a, just talking, pretending that you are not what you are, certainly seems to help his nerves in this moment. As he tells you a heartbreaking tale of fortune and misadventures, of loss and gain,
I'm not listening to this. I'm flying about.
of the many people he's interacted with in Corvosa, and the many people who he would definitely send his. Let me just rephrase that. Who he would definitely rather have to get rid of through some means or another, but now will probably not get the chance to do that because he will lack the resources that he had hoped to gain from this particular venture.
Mm-hmm. And what exactly happened at Sirathu that you went this way?
Oh, I don't really know. There was a big fire in the city, and then there was things all over the place, bandits and the like. It is rather strange. I haven't personally investigated the town myself. I just, asked the other merchants that plan to go to Kamaga, and they all quite they quite insisted that going over the Serafa route is no longer safe, even though that has proper roads. But since it hasn't rained yet, the plains here are fine for the caravans.
And you do not know why that town is not safe? As Tyraxos flies overhead.
Well, as far as I know, it's hardly a town anymore, it's just rubble.
Curious.
Well, it certainly takes the attention off of us. I should hope to think.
Yes, you should wrap your tail around the shoulders of the merchant in an understanding way. Like, there.
Why does Einavox fly check say 100 when it doesn't have?
You probably, inside your edit character and your skills, you probably have one of the numbers in a set wrong. Like if you have the box blank, it says
It
0.
says
The speed mod is apparently like 60 something.
That
Let me
That's
check.
not bad. 60.
the what?
Go
It
in there.
doesn't say that on mine though.
Go inside, Sheep, and
Speed
check.
not. It's nothing.
Yeah,
Inside the boxes, make sure they're all filled in. If there's any blank in there, that'll break the whole thing.
yeah,
if
there
there's
was a
if
blank
there-
in there.
You have to have
Oh.
0 in there.
It was pretty cool though.
Or
If
just
you have
adds
it-
like times 10, because why not?
No, what it does with blank is it basically puts the numbers one after another. So it puts it should have basically it was trying to do that instead it did that.
Yeah. And so you make your way back through the night. With little incident, although the road towards the Ashwood and your lair does the ground really isn't nearly as good as it was, but it's not a problem. Even though the wagon is clearly overloaded and has seen better days, you do eventually manage to make your way to the lair. And let's move everything over there then.
It didn't take as long as we thought it would.
No.
Does the merchant think that more merchant caravans like this one would come by?
He is fairly certain that he is the last one because the weather is turning rather bad, and as soon as it starts raining, no caravan is getting through here anymore.
Alright.
He already had to pay the caravan guards extra because they didn't think he could make it in time.
In advance, I'm guessing.
In advance, of course.
Which they didn't bring with them, huh?
But they
No,
didn't.
they bought weapons for it, probably.
Yeah, that seems very likely. The three fellows that you so easily dispatched and apparently have met before, they have indeed spent most of their advance money on actual equipment first.
To think how wasteful that money was. He would have earned much more from just staying at home.
I feel so bad for them, though. They just wanted to be heroes, and look at them now. Oh,
I kind of
Yeah,
wanted
just-
them to, in a long time, like
Yeah.
when growing up, be like, they come like and grovel and like, tracking me, we need your help. Remember old times.
yeah, I really wanted that.
And I would be kind. But you had
But
to
first
kill her.
bully them a bit.
You only have yourselves to blame.
You had to be so overpowered, kill her.
I didn't mean to, I just meant to shock her a little bit. Tyrax is gonna go and have a mental
They're
breakdown.
fragile.
They are.
Don't do that to the girl, I mean.
Yeah, no. Of course not. Just gotta go and bawl in the forest.
We're gonna drive up here, and then I suppose we'll drive a little bit further to the Kobold interest, I think.
Just do
We'll take the
this.
money. But, let's get up here with it, sir.
Do it up there then.
This is a good spot. Very many things around me. No.
It's a nice place you have here, and I must say it's a lot of rock.
Tyrax just lands again with a beat of his wings. Why, thank you.
I should really get going now because it is rather late and
Yes. Yes, you should get going, shouldn't you? He slithers
Well,
up
I'm
next to him.
sure Tilraxus can follow you, bring you out some of the way. I think we'll begin unloading the wagon. Thank you for your donation, sir. It's very nice.
I hope to meet you again to do further business then, although I hope it's going to be more beneficial for me in the future, of course, but, well, yes, let us leave then, if I may be so bold as to request one of my horses.
No, I think they should stay here.
I will lead you out safely to the roads again. Do not worry. Follow me.
Safety in numbers, actually, I think.
Tyrax says, shakes his head. No, you don't need to worry. Help unload the wares. The good, whatever his name was, is not, is not getting away from me.
Scrivix!
And Tyraxus will lead Merrick out of here
Alright.
and take care of him, as it were.
There is food and equipment and some nice furnishings and whatnot. Please take it in here. The horses, Avalnix, could you finish them up, or could each of you finish them up rather quickly? They don't really seem to be fighting you. You'd be able to bite their throats too.
I would
Or
recommend
maybe
Einavox
we should keep them alive. Actually, if we could have them out here, they would last longer.
Einavok should not be the one to finish
We
them.
can eat the perishable meat off the other ones and keep these two for later. Yes? There's lots of grass still that they could eat. Okay,
mean,
so basically suggest binding the two horses over here in like ropes. And then when we need them, we can eat them. They can just sort of go there and eat grass and drink from the river until we need them.
Would Einavox know the best way to treat a horse?
I mean, we put them over there and then they eat grass and drink water. That shouldn't be that hard, right? Sheep?
I apologize. Yes, shouldn't be that hard.
Because then they don't perish if they're alive, he thinks.
They seem very unhappy being so close to you, but they don't really have any options, really.
You can bind them over here and they can sort of have a little bit of a tether to walk around and drink water and eat grass. And that should make them happy enough.
You
And
certainly
then-
have plenty of rope to do something like that.
Then we can eat them when we need them, you know? Then they don't spoil. If we just kill them now, they will spoil before we can eat all of it. I think that's a good way to do it.
Sure, you can just have them somewhere, although they do, of course, need to be looked after and fed and stuff.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of grass, right?
Yeah, although once winter comes, that might change, but then you're probably going to have
You'll
to
probably
just
have
eat
eaten them by
yeah.
winter comes. So, I mean, they're just supposed to stand here until we've eaten the perishable meat. Then we take one away and kill it, and then we eat that one until that one's gone. Then we eat this one, and then we can begin on the non-perishable meats after we have finished off all the horse meat. You know, that way nothing goes to waste. I suppose we can also dismantle this wagon and put it in there. They needed stuff to make traps with anyway.
More wood and general.
Who the hell left the
Thanks.
sausages?
What?
Don't see anything.
Alright, point.
Scroll up.
They are not there anymore.
Our Volnix will ensure that the kobolds are very productive by just giving them his delightful presence.
But this should be enough for winter.
Skrillex thinks so too. Let me just
And
do
for all
this.
the new kobolds that will hatch soon. Why are these guys still laying here, by the way? Like,
They are decoration. So
okay,
an altar of your glorious ascendance to
sure.
the
And
leaders.
this is food then, yeah.
That's kind of the food stocks, although these two don't look too tasty anymore.
Well, I mean, you can always throw them away. Put the wagon in there. That's a good symbol for food.
Delightful presence.
And then I guess we'll come home the same day or the next day, I suppose, technically.
You would arrive midnight, basically.
She's asleep, hopefully.
She is, yeah.
Then Vincent didn't even get here, did he?
He'll come someday.
I will stalk the caves, just looking at the kobolds.
Kobolds, dismantle the wagon and put it in the food stocks. Well, put the food in the food stocks and the wagon in the workshop.
Early in the morning, Tyraxus will probably be back and like plump down on his sand pile.
Without being sad.
Yeah, you know, he's a little bit rueful. You know, he imagines so much fun things with that group.
Mechanics will give dream food to anyone who needs it.
Oh sure, if it's up for dream food, that would be great. I don't think I've tasted the dream food.
Our Volnix would have asked for his wound to be closed instead.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
bye.
too.
We need wounds, really.
He got smited by a paladin.
Sure, Volnix. Here, take some of that. Is that enough?
It helps.
All right, but then that, maybe.
Okay, the rest,
Or-
what I can do by sleep.
All right, and Inovox, here you go.
Thanks.
Yeah, these are really good rolls. Huh. All right, I still have enough for dream food.
I'm going to take a 5 to 10 minute break here because I need to cool off, otherwise I am in fact going to melt.
Okay.
I can still do dream food, which is basically you sleep. You get a little bit of his blood on your on your on your mouth while you sleep, and as you dream, you basically dream of yourself at a huge banquet hall. You know, it seems to be an underwater palace with like uh, wonderful furnishings everywhere, and dragon themed, like everything you can imagine. And then the table, you're alone in there, and the table is just decorated with all your favorite foods.
Peppers.
And then you can just gorge yourself on as much food as you want. It feels filling, and when you wake up, it has been an optimally nourishing meal that you've had that should cover you for a day.
Okay. Yes, Tyrannosaurus will make
this
like munching sounds in his sleep.
This is how Rakai spends every night, just gorging himself on awesome food, and he doesn't even gain weight because it's dream food. It just gives him whatever his body
One
needs.
weird trick to
To dream of, like, how wonderful. Like, if you could pick one spell in real life,
pretty good spell.
that would not be the worst one.
Nope.
Save food budget forever, and like get awesome food every night.
Mhm.
Oh. That's basically how the girl has how Vendra has eaten many nights, lonely in a big dragon hall while eating whatever sweet cakes or whatever she wants. You know.
Yes. All the drool in Tyrannosaurus' sand pile.
That will make them respect me a little bit, at least. I can
don't-
feed them with my mind.
Mind food. Yeah. Tyrannosaurus dreams of like red meat, like a particular kind of like thick desert sandworm that is incredibly delectable, and it has been made with very strong Assyrian pepper. That is like really spicy, and he eats like a lot of that. He really likes it.
Now he doesn't even have to deal with the aftermath.
Indeed. Also, some of the absolute finest of the sands that he can like chew a little bit of as well. You know, he needs to recharge.
Diamond dust.
Exactly.
What does Einavox get when she gets whatever she likes the most?
Well, the funny thing is that that is kind of what she lives on at the moment. Animals from the forest.
Well, plenty of those then.
Hmm.
The crow is quite high on Vornix's list, strangely enough.
Rakai doesn't really have the power to choose what people eat. It's just whatever they like, really. Yeah.
I just do like the fact that all of mine are in ice cubes, basically.
But they don't need to know that he can't control what they eat.
I'm basically having like venison lollipop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm back, but I will turn my fan on for a bit.
Okay. I think for next session we should update the framework to be the one that works with Java 8.
We should definitely make sure that things work, yes.
I linked it in Skype. It says specifically that attack frames work now and such. Character sheets. Target area works.
We never use the target area anyway.
There was a decent chunk of combat still planned for this session. Would you rather we have a very short session today and spend the rest of the day trying to fix things, and then do a proper session next Friday, or do you just want to deal with the problems we have at the moment?
They were
Could,
annoying.
but I can't attack anything. So.
Yeah, it's just...
But,
Yeah, I can't
you know.
attack anything either.
But that's all. If you wanted, we could take a maybe like 10-minute break, and you could just try getting this framework.
I could get the framework,
That
but
should take like super little time, right?
I don't feel comfortable just updating the framework. I would rather have a bit more time to make sure that everything still works.
Okay. Well, up to you guys then. I'm partial. I don't attack that many things anyway.
Well, that was
Fine,
now
have
Now I can't attack anymore.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because in the map tools 91, there is a launcher and a map tool you can click on. Which one is it you're supposed to use?
The
Right,
launcher.
I'm back.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
I'm doing it right.
Jonas, when you were gone, I basically said there is still a decent chunk of combat that I had planned for this session. But considering the problems we have right now, I'm not sure if it wouldn't be better to simply do the shortest session in history and spend the rest of the time trying to update things and get it working, so we have it going for next time, or just try to power through things. It would be, I think, a bit just annoying for both Menaka and Tina being unable to do many things by themselves, that is.
Do we have an option to maybe reschedule the session? Because an hour for the week is a bit short.
It
Or
is.
just-
It is. I know it is a bit short.
I don't think I have time through next week. I'll begin Monday basically, and yeah, I'm back to uni.
We could do an extra session on the day that Halldamir can't play Forsaken Throne. That's a Saturday, I believe.
Well, that's a while ahead. But yes, that's a Saturday.
Unless you would have just played without him on that day, of course.
I would be fine with that.
I mean, the traditional policy is if there's one player gone to continue playing, but
I mean, it's up to you. I don't have any problems on my end, so I can't really say how annoying it is.
I can understand exactly how annoying this is.
Yeah, I'll just, it's up to you, Menaka and Tina.
I think it's very annoying. to be
I
honest.
think so too.
So what I'm hearing is that session is over.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Just next time, I mean, it might be too much to ask in some situations, especially if you only just come back on the day that we have a session. But at
Get
least,
back at 5.
yeah, okay, and you immediately wrote me that you can't really get Java 7. I was under the impression that it would work, so I didn't really investigate much further. But apparently that wasn't the case.
It should just be updating the framework, though.
The thing is, I'm not entirely certain that the framework is completely backwards compatible. It would mean that I have to make sure that certain things still work, and I would rather not do that mid-session.
No, sure. But
Okay, well, that means that session ends here. It will be 1 or maybe 2 episodes going up on YouTube this week. Sorry, folks. We'll try to have things fixed next time.
On the plus side, it is unlikely to ever get worse than this. I should not have said that.
No, you shouldn't.
I apologize.
it's better than the weekend.
I can hear you, Dice Gods. I can hear you. You're
Maybe we will next time we play. Maybe we'll try to go a little bit longer to compensate. Who knows? But session is over for now. Hang around though, because if session is over now, we're gonna play some more Contradiction.
That is a great question that just posted in chat as well, Valarian.
Yeah, now that the decision's been made, basically, I very much like just the fact that we stop playing early because I want to take a shower.
I thought you wanted to fix this.
I am going to fix this as soon as I stop feeling miserable because it's 30 degrees in my room.
Sheep.
I apologize, but yeah.
Sheep, I assume this means I'm probably for Forsaken Throne tomorrow. I'm going to have to update my framework.
Yes, that seems to be a thing.
You know, if Jonas goes to play some more Contradiction, I will see if updating is indeed as simple as it might be, and then we can at least make sure that Forsaken Throne works perfectly tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm gonna play some.
How about we do it immediately?
I'm
I
gonna play
agree.
some Contradiction.
All right.
I enjoy the idea of playing Contradiction. So
You don't wanna update this thing and see if it works?
I will do so. I'll take a shout out to that. I think you might have noticed that I wasn't entirely.
You're boiling to death slightly.
Yes.
Make a backup with campaign file, and then
Yes,
like
I will definitely do so.
update one of them, and then see if I can connect, and we can have a test combat and see if things work. That should really be all we need to do, right? If things work, then they'll work. It's just that's still some minor issues with Java 8, but
Yeah, if things
it's majorly compatible.
if things work, they work. I'm just worried that the tokens will not be backwards compatible.
It says data about